And we are back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 11. And this is going to be a segment on the MSK show where if the person that I have on does not have a YouTube channel, Twitch channel, Rumble channel, whatever it may be, and they're just someone with a microphone and want to talk, that's perfectly fine. We're just gonna call this segment "Having a Conversation with X Person," and the person I will be having a conversation with today is Mr. Hanayama-san. Actually,
correct.
This is gonna be his first appearance on the show. He's Asian. I'm black. So we're basically just the discount ghetto version of Rush Hour, actually. So we fulfilled all the diversity quotas here already. Now we have an Asian. Now I can make all my Asian egg roll jokes. Woo! It's gonna be great.
You are perfectly free to joke whatever the fuck you want.
So what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Oh, doing good. I mean, time zone differences is fucking 2 a.m. for me, but I don't care.
It's 2 a.m. for you. Holy crap! Where do you even live in the world?
Central Europe.
Central Europe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but hey, I don't care. I literally do not care.
Oh god, man.
I'm officially retired. I have all the time in the world.
Oh, you retired? Oh, congrats, man. How long you were working?
Oh, technically speaking, I worked an entirety for 2.5 years, and then I got into a little medical accident, and ever since then, I've been in disability retirement.
Basically, they just said, "Hey, we'll just give you enough money to just not deal with you."
No, it's. I wish they gave me enough money. Like fuck that.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, so when I got out of school, I went into culinary school and became a trained chef.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So then after that, we found out via it's a due process over here that after you finish culinary school, you need to do 3 months in an actual kitchen to see if you can actually handle working that schedule. And in those 3 months, it was determined that while my body rapidly increases in building up body heat, I am too slow to decrease body heat. So I tend to overheat, specifically during summer months. And if you run the risk of overheating during your work shift, you are not getting a work license to work as a chef.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, so what the fuck do I do now? And so I retrained and became a salesman for media electronics.
Oh, so you're like the Asian guy that would like call people and be like, "Hey, you want to try out new products?"
Yeah, but like not necessarily like call them, but like if you came to the store and if you were looking for something specific that would fall into my category, you would most likely be sent to me, and then I would look what it is that you want, and then we can talk.
So which job did you like better? Did you like being the salesman or the chef?
Well, my first job that I ever wanted, like even back in school, like when kids are stupid, like if you like when you like in the age group when you ask kids like what they want to be and they tell you like they want to be a fucking football star, movie star, whatever the fuck, I already wanted to be a fucking chef. So that was always my first choice. But hey, if the fucking body says no, then the body says no. Like is what it is. So I just took the sales job, and then like the job itself was fine. Obviously, like you have the annoying, stupid customer every once in a while, but usually like that flew by fairly easily. And that was the primary job I did for almost 3 years, and then got the medical shit, and ever since then, and fucking retired.
Oh god. So how's it feel being retired essentially after about, let's say, a couple years in the workforce?
I mean, the timeline is funny because culinary school, like I went 2 years because when I finished school, I was 16.
Okay.
So I went to culinary school for 2 years because you cannot start training to be a chef until you are 18. That's a legal requirement given the work hours. Then it's another 3.5 years of training to become a chef. Then we had the 3 months after that one where you had the work practice in which it was discovered that I physically cannot work as a chef. So that's basically already 5 years. Then retrain to become a salesman, which is another 3 years, and then working 3 years.
Okay.
And
So
then you retire.
So
Be like,
I'll ask you this, which is, how was your life growing up between like being a kid into high school?
I mean, for me, I was very fortunate to not have any major issues over here.
Oh, you
But
didn't have like the dad that was a alcoholic and your mom was beaten by your dad, right?
oh no. I mean, to put it very bluntly, like my dad was a fucking cunt, but not in a physical way.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is what you Europeans are.
Oh no, because the thing is, and like it's fucked up to tell your kid that, but whatever. Like, because I have an older brother, like he's 3.5 years older than me.
Okay.
And my dad, once upon a time, like I was 9, maybe 10, he told me straight up to my face that if he paid better attention, he would only have one kid.
Yeah.
And then fucking 6 years later, when I finished school and had literally the best fucking degree out of the entire family, I told him to eat a dick.
Mm-hmm.
So that was basically my turnover revenge, being like, you would have, like, it was your wettest dream to have these grades, so fuck you.
So I'll ask you, do you still have contact with your dad? Do you guys still have a relationship with some? What happened?
Very simple. I told him to fuck off and eat a dick.
That's it.
And when I turned 18, I moved out. And now I'm 35 and I have not spoken to him since.
1830. You haven't talked to your dad in almost 17 years?
Yeah, going on to 18 years. I have not seen this man. I have not spoken to this man.
Crazy.
I don't know if that man is even still alive. And quite frankly, I do not care, as horrible as that sounds.
Well, your mom, you still talk to her?
Oh, fuck yeah. Like, she literally lives on the same street as me, but fucking 6 houses down.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So,
holy shit. Why are you so mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? Why am I so mean? Like, if you had been raised by that fucking dickhead, you also wouldn't like him.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like that kind of stuff is just, I understand being kind of tough on your kids as a dad, but saying like mentally damaging stuff like that is just actually just
imagine you have an older sibling, and then one day, like for no reason, your dad just tells you, by the way, if I had my way, you wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, fuck you then. Jesus.
So what else did you have growing up? Did you have like, you watch movies and you played video games, right, as well?
Oh, I watched movies. Like, I have seen movies that were way above my fucking age grade, like fucking everybody has. like I have seen the uncut version, so the unedited version of the original Alien by the time I was like 9.
Okay. Which one do you prefer? Alien or Aliens? I know it's been a long running debate many years. I think they're both equal. I don't really get the choosing of them. I think they're both really good.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. And I will answer this in the most honest way that I can. If you ask me which one of them is the better horror movie, I will tell you Alien is better. Mm-hmm. If you ask me which one is the overall better movie, I would give Aliens a very slight edge, but we're talking like 99% to like 99.5. But that's as the overall better package. But as a better straight up horror movie, it's Alien.
Yeah.
I love them both. Like, I love them both.
Yeah. I hate it when fans do that, man. I hate it when we have like essentially 2 really good movies, and it's really rare sequels are just as good as the first one, or even more so into longer, bigger franchises too, that we have to like pick them. Why can't they just both be good and we just talk about the merits of them both being on the same level? Hate people like that, man.
Yeah, but then just go further. Predator 1 or Predator 2, Terminator 1 or Terminator 2. Like, it's always the same dumb debate.
I don't know how people got Predator 2 over Predator 1. Predator 2 was much a downgrade compared to number 1. Number 1 is so good.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Predator 1 is, it has its flaws as a movie, but we still love it. because it's fucking Predator.
Yeah.
And Predator 2 still has the same flaws, but I still love it as a movie because of its expansion to the lore of the Predator.
Gamer Chick, she said, just hopped in and don't know why you haven't spoken to your dad. Well, he said his dad's a piece of shit. That's most of the reason why. But totally feel you. Haven't spoken to my mom since September 2010. What? What? Everyone here just has parents issues. Holy crap.
Sometimes that just happens. Right? And then same with like fucking Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. And funnily enough, I would give Terminator 1 and 2 the same review as I would give, as I just gave with Aliens. I think Terminator 1 is the better constructed movie, like in terms of like the horror elements of everybody didn't know shit at the time, and then you have this fucking Terminator just chasing poor old Sarah Connor. And then you get to Terminator 2, and it's the more action-very, but still very good told story. And it expands on the overall lore, just like with Alien and Aliens. Aliens is, again, for me, very slightly the overall better movie, but the original Alien is the better horror movie. And Terminator 1 has the better horror elements, but I like Terminator 2 just that tiny smudge more, but I would not choose one over the other. If you tell me, hey, we're watching Terminator 1 today, it's like, bro, where's my popcorn? If you tell me we watched Terminator 2 today, I would tell you, bro, where's my popcorn?
Yeah.
It's been totally acceptable choices, both of them.
Yeah. It's just fans always just have to have that. You gotta pick one. It's like being in a love triangle. It's like, but what if I don't want to choose between two girls? What if I just want to have them both? One probably likes, doggy style and missionary. The other one's more freaky and wants backdoor stuff. Why do I gotta choose?
you know the single worst community that makes you pick and choose random shit? Welcome to the anime community.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I think
Dragon
the
Ball.
worst one is Dragon Ball. Yeah, Dragon Ball definitely is it. Like, specifically when it comes down to like Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super. So I'm part of like Facebook groups of Dragon Ball, and it is just like those communities are the communities of horrors. Like, yeah, we're at the end of the day, it's just nerds arguing. But if you literally are telling someone they can't be a Dragon Ball Z fan because they like Super over GT or vice versa, that's just super silly. It's like, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. If you're alone by yourself and you're just chilling on your couch and you put on GT because you like it more than Super, that's fine. Like,
hey, watch what you want to watch.
Yeah.
Watch what you want to watch. But my favorites, and I see them every fucking day on Twitter, and I hate them, and I hate them with a burning passion. Is like somebody loves insert random anime here. Doesn't matter. Like it can be My Hero.
Every day. Every day. Yeah.
And then you have that one guy, and you already know you have that one guy that comes in there. Yeah, but can he beat Goku? I hate these motherfuckers.
And then, dude, I try to break it down to them sometimes, like why Goku kind of is just like cut above the rest of like these other anime heroes. Not in terms of a better character, just in terms of physical strength this guy has attached to him. Like a character can't win. It's almost like, well, can Baragon from Bleach beat Vegeta? It's like, well, no. They're like, why? Because in Bleach, it is firmly stated that if a character spiritual pressure is not stronger than another character's, it'll just kind of just fizzle out. So basically, just Goku and Vegeta just power up. The ability that he can do is just going to get canceled. They're like, how does that work? So I'm like, did you even watch your own show? What is wrong? Like, I feel like that is a
whole another can of worms. But it's funny to me when then somebody like me comes in that has 28 years of watching anime.
Holy crap!
And I've made a list with a friend of mine just for shits and giggles over the course of 6 months. We narrowed it down that I, in my lifetime, have watched over 1,000 different anime. So I'm literally in the 4 digits. And we're not counting different seasons. We're counting different shows.
Gamer Chick said, what's she say? I think it's more like choosing between. Okay, that's just a terrible person. That if your parent does that, that's terrible. I would like to point out you're not a Wheel of Time fan if you like the Amazon show.
Correct.
I'm not a loser.
I agree. The Amazon Wheel of Time show is absolute blasphemy to the work of the Wheel of Time. But going back to like the fucking Dragon Ball
The
shit,
anime
and again, like
discussion, yeah.
yeah,
It's just
and
really
again, like I have
Mhm,
seen over 1,000 shows, and
mhm.
so I always love it when that one guy comes in and it's like, yeah, but can he beat Goku? And then I sit there and be like, bro, Goku gets his ass clapped by Sailor Moon. What the fuck you talking about?
Like I think people, I don't think even people are like really paying attention when they're watching stuff, not just like anime, because you notice some people talk about certain animes, not just Dragon Ball Z. They're like they get things wrong that are just like blatantly stated in front of them in the show.
Yes.
They're not paying. I really do feel like the average person just straight up put something on just to watch it, and they're not actively paying attention. That's why a bunch of misconceptions with anime come up, because people just aren't listening. Or they do that thing where they take everything at face value. So I'll give an example. So someone like Ukiura from Bleach. Well, there was a part where he was clearly just messing with Ichigo in a way that was just trying to shit on his confidence. But people took that as if like, well, since he's a spot of 4, that means he's not stronger than 3 and 1 because they're higher ranked than him. Guys, villains, if people know villains are not good people, then why would we trust them to just tell us the truth? He obviously wouldn't be telling him the truth because his core of his character is to deceive somebody, obviously.
And we literally got that fucking 16 episodes later from that one when Ichigo has the discussion with Aizen, and Aizen tells him something. Ichigo doesn't believe him, and then Aizen looks at him and is like, okay, so if you think I'm lying now, then why do you believe I told you the truth beforehand?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think people take what villains say also at face value as much as like, guys, they're supposed to deceive you. They're villains. Like anime, for as much as good as it has probably some of the dumbest fans you can ever interact with. Dude, people are still having Kid Buu and Buhan arguments in 2024.
Yes, because people are fucking idiots. I mean, here's another really great one, which I absolutely love because people are just fucking retarded. Take, for example, currently with Jujutsu Kaisen. It is very openly said that in order to exercise a curse, you need cursed energy. Otherwise, the curse will just regenerate and come back to life. So that by proxy means I don't care how strong Goku is. Goku will never exercise a single curse because he physically can't.
Yeah.
Like he can like fucking split you down to your last atom, but because he cannot exercise you, that curse will come back. Doesn't matter. It's a never-ending fight because that motherfucker will always regenerate because he cannot exercise him.
Or what I don't like sometimes about anime fans is the stuff that gets said that is just clear projection. Like they'll say things like, man, this guy looks like a straight up pedophile. And it's like, what in the world's wrong with you? This is
what the fuck?
Like the anime people, the people that watch it project the most weirdest shit, like Goku being a bad dad, all that stuff. Like not just with Goku, just a bunch of people just project a bunch of nonsense. Like, guys, it's not that serious, okay? Okay? These characters are not doing what you think they're doing. I don't even know where people are even getting that from. It's just they're applying their real life to it so hard that they're just not able to separate. So we have people that pay attention a little too much, and then we have pay attention, and then we have people that don't pay attention enough, and then there's those other people that are like just obviously just like projecting bullshit. God. Oh my god, man. I don't know how you do it,
dude. That's the funny part. Like anybody that has the misfortune to follow me on Twitter, and I call it a misfortune, every time somebody starts a fucking anime discussion with me, I will gladly sit back in my chair, grab a drink, and argue them into the fucking dirt. Because it's like, sir, how dare you choose, like, out of everybody on Twitter, you choose me. You made a mistake. Now you done fucked up. And I will fucking shit on them so hard. Because these people are fucking dumb. And they are dumb in the absolute worst fucking thing.
If anyone's technically a little bit weird, it was Orochimaru in Naruto. That was a little sus. He was going after 12-year-old kids, but obviously he was trying to basically get Sasuke, which is weird because if you talk to someone that this random villain's trying to go after like 3 kids, you're like, is that kind of weird? It's just what anime is. But I think
but also here, okay, so let's take that point just as a example.
Yeah.
Why did he go after Sasuke?
He wanted a Sharingan. I remember that.
He wanted a Sharingan. So,
Yeah.
and he thought not only, okay, you are one of the last living Uchiha that exists that has this
Mhm.
ability, you have also awakened that ability, even if at that point it was to a small degree. So now, if I can manipulate you and then steal you, take over your body, I will
Yeah.
have access to a body that has that specific bloodline technique. So
Yeah.
it's not like he wanted him for weird shit. It's like, no, you have a power that is unique to your bloodline
Mhm.
that I cannot get unless I physically
Yeah.
manipulate and take over your body and take
Mhm.
control of that power. That's all he wanted. Like
Yeah.
he, for all he cared about, he could have found a random fucking Uchiha that was like 95 years old. If that motherfucker had an active Sharingan, Orochimaru would fucking stalk that motherfucker when he takes a shit.
Yeah, that's the thing is people aren't even paying attention. They're just projecting so much real life shit into anime that it's just so beyond cringe. Like there's and later on it's revealed in the show, he lost I think an arm or a hand because he fought Itachi. Well, it would probably likely assume that he saw Itachi use the Sharingan, he knows his brother has it. I'm gonna go after the little brother that has it. Little brother's obviously weaker, as we can clearly tell in the show. He's clearly weaker by default. It's easier to go after him. People are factoring. He could have just straight up killed them in the Forest of Death. It's kind of just like plot armor. They get to survive anyway. If if we're being completely honest with ourselves, they should have died to him. But anime's anime. You just got to keep it going. I will say one of the things that anime could probably do better in the longer ones is just clear up getting the pacing done. I'll say this, man. Filler is hit or miss depending on for me, depending on if it's good or bad. But could you just did without it? Honestly, like instead of getting the filler, I would rather just wait and just not have it and to just get the story that I was continuing with. That's kind of where I'm at with filler. I don't because filler is a hit or miss thing anyway. Because filler basically, if it's good, it's worth the wait, right? But if it's bad, it's like it just feels like a complete waste of time. Like the Bount arc in Bleach, right? That's a complete waste of time. It means nothing in the end. It was a terrible story arc. We could have just waited and just got the other story that we were going to be given from the manga anyway. So how do you feel about filler?
I mean, like usually, like it's the same thing. Like if it's filler that like at least is enjoyable, I don't mind. But you need to remember production back in the day versus production today. Because
True.
like if you look at things like specifically like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Full Metal Alchemist, when it first like the first season when it first aired before Brotherhood came out, and even then when Brotherhood came out, they were produced week to week, back to back episodes, compared to the current model where they take one specific story arc that is done, adapt that one into a season, and then take a break to structurize the next arc, what happened in the manga, and then come out with season 2, season 3, whatever. And the issue with that one is, hail Jack Tarlett.
Hi, Jack.
And so the issue with that one is, if you run a week-to-week production, sooner or later, depending on how early you start production, you will run into the problem where you get too close to the manga, where the manga is currently at. So you run the risk of running out of material to adapt.
Yeah.
And that's when filler comes in. So now they're sitting there like, okay, we adapt to this episode. This is a good cutoff point. And then they introduce a filler arc to give the manga more lean way forward so they have more material to adapt the next arc. Currently, we don't do that anymore because we have the seasonal model of even if you get too close to the manga, doesn't matter. You have your season, you go on break for half a year, 9 months, whatever. So that's half a year, 9 months that the manga goes ahead. That's at least one new season, one new arc. You then start pre-production, go into production, produce the next season, which then comes out like next year. And while that one airs, that's another 12 to 24 weeks. And then you go on break again for another half year, 9 months until season 3 comes out. So this is how current anime eliminates filler. And with some of them, it's like, yes, filler can be complete ass. Like, and you mentioned the Bounto arc. And the funny thing is, as an arc that just exists, I don't hate it. The only reason I don't approve of it is in the long run of the story, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and the other thing,
but the arc
yeah,
itself. So
you're fine.
to give that sense. So the arc itself, if you rewatch it today, and specifically if you just rewatch the Bounto arc, don't watch anything before, don't watch anything after. The arc itself is, you had a very specific skill in your life, and now you don't have it anymore. How far are you willing to go to reacquire that skill in order to do what you need to do? And because in the Bounto arc, remember, Uryu lost his Quincy powers.
Yeah.
And he got offered a tool that mimics his Quincy powers. In the Bounto arc, they said that Ichigo cannot use Bankai in the human world because there is no access racially like it was in the Soul Society. So how far are you willing to go to regain a skill that you previously had without going too far? That in itself is a fine story note to have a little arc about. Like, the characters later on sadly don't mean anything, which is sad for the filler. But the theme of the filler itself is not a bad little story. And because it's, again, like, how far are you willing to go, and are you willing to overstep boundaries?
The other thing I'll bring up with filler that a lot of people just won't understand is because growing up, when it came to anime, you'd have to watch it like week to week, wherever you were watching it, right? So if you did get filler, not only did it delay the main story from happening, you were stuck with it. You couldn't like go on a Netflix and binge your anime like people can do now, or they have Crunchyroll or whatever website you use now. You have to kind of sit there and wait till it's over. So I think some of the anime fans now, because they have so much access to things that we didn't have when we were growing up, they can just get to the newest stuff right then. They're like, and to be fair, some of these filler arcs that people consider bad, if you watch them probably all at once, probably isn't going to be that bad, honestly, because you're getting it in a more of a cohesive, timely manner, and you're not waiting for it week to week, you know?
Yes.
So, go ahead.
No, but absolutely, yes.
So you have this thing where I think there's a generation of anime fans that had to sit there and wait for it versus like anime fans that just can just go and click a button and have it, you know? So I understand where the older anime fans are coming from. Like, I think it's just a waste of time. I would rather just get the main story. But then again, we came from a time period where we had to wait for a lot of stuff. And to be fair, I think that probably ended up panning out a lot better anyway, waiting for stuff.
I mean, not just that, but like current day fans, and that's not to shit on current day fans, but we remember, like, okay, you finally get to fucking Goku versus Frieza on Namek. They finally have the big fucking stand down, and then the episode ends and you get blue ball to fuck, and then you have to wait till next week. And like, anybody that watches Dragon Ball now just clicks next episode and just watches it. They will never understand the struggle of getting blue balled and having to wait till next week.
Oh, the worst one was recap episodes. I don't know. I don't know what those were for, other than those were just a time period thing. Those had to have been, because I hope those don't happen now. I forgot they still kind of do in some. I don't know what they're for.
I mean,
what are the recap episodes for?
I mean, we don't have the full on recap episode anymore. We have like the first 2 or 3 minutes is the famous previously on insert title here, but that's just 2-3 minutes, whatever. But like, we also don't get episodes anymore that go nowhere and just waste time. And you may remember the Final Flash episode when Vegeta charges the Final Flash against Perfect Cell.
Yeah.
70% of that episode is Vegeta just talking shit and yelling out his asshole to fucking charge that laser, and then he didn't fire it until next episode. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Now you're just taking the piss.
Oh, God. I'll ask you too. This is always a long-running debate, too. Subs or dubs?
Very simple. And because I take the very political route on that one, I prefer the original language, but I prefer the original language in regardless of what I'm watching. If I watch an American film, I want to watch it in English. If I watch a Korean fucking series like Squid Game, I want to watch it in Korean. If I watch if I watch anime, I want to watch it in Japanese. If I watch, for whatever reason, if I would watch something in German, then Like if it's a German production, then I want to watch it in German. If I watch an Italian film, I want to watch it in the fucking Italian accent. I'm always going for original voice. Now, there are people that really suffer when they have to read subtitles because they are not fast readers. So if you have a series that has quick dialogue, they are basically screwed and have to keep rewinding. If they want to say, bro, watching subbed for me is easier because I just can listen to it, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So, but for me, personal preference will, regardless of what it is, always be the original voice. Because to me, not only the line deliverance, but the way the dialogue is constructed will always be better in its original dialect than if it's been redubbed in whatever language it is.
I also think that if people want a more of a, I would say, immersive experience too, because when I got into like watching subs when I was a teenager, back when I was in high school, the episodes would be out there, you could watch them. I felt like I was being able to keep up with an anime faster than just waiting for it to be dubbed. I thought to myself, wait, why am I waiting for this? I'll just sit down and pay attention. Because I think a lot of people just don't want to sit there and just read the subtitles. But not only are you getting the anime faster, you are also, in my opinion, like I said before, it's more translated closer to whatever manga it's from. And I think, you know what the most underrated things about subs are, dude? Scores. Have you watched like your favorite anime scenes dubbed and you contrast them subbed, and the subs score makes the subbed ones even stronger? I've been doing that a lot recently with all of my favorite animes. Like the subs are so strong when it comes to like the score, like the actual music you hear during the actual scene. They're like, that's why I would say the sub always edges it out. The scores are just so much better. They're so much more intuitive. You know, it feels like the dialogue is a lot more akin to what they're wanting to present to you. Because like you said with dubs, not only do you get mistranslations, and we know mistranslations could be a heavy thing with English dubs. It's a lot, technically a lot better now, but it still happens. I'd rather just, you know, it just depends. I don't mind watching either or, but if you ask me to pick one, I'm picking the sub. I'm sorry. Not only am I getting the anime faster, I'm getting the better score and dialogue too. Okay, cool. Sign me up. I'll pay attention to the anime. I'll sit there and read.
Yeah, not only that, but like to me, specifically, like let's take Bleach for an example.
Yeah.
If you look at my main man, if you look at Kenpachi.
Oh yeah, I love Kenpachi.
Kenpachi just sounds like an absolute murderous fucking psychopath that does not care about whose ass he's beating as long as he gets to beat ass. And then you listen to him in English, and it's like, bro, who is this fucking nincompoop from Walmart?
Oh, to me, so to this day, Kenpachi has one of the coldest things he's did to somebody. So if you don't remember, when he's fighting Noitora, I didn't even notice this in the anime. He just put his hand on his sword, the other one, because he always fought with one hand, and just slit through him.
Yes,
that might be the coldest thing I've seen an anime character do in forever. I was reading that in the manga, I was like, holy, wait a minute, this guy can only fight him with one hand? That's crazy.
to me, the biggest fucking dick move that Kenpachi ever did. He's fighting against Noitora. Noitora goes into his resurrection, goes into the fucking Santa Teresa, the fucking mantis form.
Yeah,
puts out all his fucking scythes, just fucking slashes him up, and then Kenpachi just stands there and be like, "Hey, by the way, did you know that the sword swing is heavier when you use two hands?" And it's like, oh no, oh no, don't do him like this. And then he just casually bodies him just because he used two hands.
Gamerchick says, world's greatest first love is only in sub, but the manga translates better than the subtitles and reads easier. Dub when I'm watching while doing something. You mean when you're messaging me? But subbed isn't bad, minus weird translations. Yeah, that's even subs has been kind of weirdly getting into the translation problem too, which is odd considering the fact that it's supposed to come from, you know, the Japanese people who are obviously making the show. Fucking hell,
but
man.
they are not translating the subtitles. That's the fun part. So, for example, and I absolutely loved this in season 2 when the Shibuya arc aired for Jujutsu Kaisen. The studio from at Crunchyroll does the subtitles. And for whatever brain rot fucking reason, when you had the episode of Sukuna versus Maharaga, Sukuna uses his domain and uses the Malevolent Shrine, and for some godforsaken reason, the day one release of the subtitled episode had Malevolent Shrine translated as Malevolent Kitchen. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing over there? Like, who is translating this? A fucking drunk? Like, what is wrong? You're getting paid to do this. What's wrong with you? Your shit together, motherfucker.
God, man. And it's crazy, man, because you know how, like, since media for, like, movies and television have been getting kind of worse in quality, as most people could point out to you. I'm not saying everything's bad, but, you know, a good amount of it's been pretty much not good at all, that everyone just started converting over to anime, and then people just get so weirded out by what it is. They're like, these guys are acting over the top. Wait, First of all, why would that be a problem? We're talking about, this is the same people that come from movies where people are playing make-believe characters, acting like a complete fool in front of other people to play a character, but anime is over the top. Okay,
it's like no disrespect to the actor, but it's like, bro, you are hyping Nicolas Cage movies, but anime is too much for you? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This man overacts in every movie he's in. And I love Nick Cage, but he's overacting. Like, he's acting the shit out of every movie he's in, out of every scene he's in. Like, watch the first Ghost Rider again, and just watch his face. He emotes like a motherfucker, and it's great. But anime is too cartoonish for you, really?
Yeah, they'll have these things where they're like, "Oh my god, what's the other one?" Like, if you this is why I don't put people on certain animes anymore. Or if they'll ask me, I'll just tell them my opinion. But they'll watch it and they'll be like, "Well, I don't really get why this is good." But it's like, I'll say this: if anyone's going into it expecting to be like the next best thing, I think the people that hype up anime do that too bad. I would not hype up something as some sort of like a masterpiece to somebody, because when someone experiences something, that's just going to be different. Everyone's experience will be different. There are people still to this day that think that Dragon Ball Z is nothing but a bunch of people that power up and yell. You know, what can you do?
Okay, so the joke reply would be, but are they wrong, though?
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, like, if you specifically take the old Dragon Ball Z, let's say Saiyan Saga till the start of the Android Saga. How many episodes are just people changing forms, powering up, or yelling at each other?
Oh yeah. And
so are they wrong?
Super came in, because in Super, when Super came in, it was like revealed that, hey, they kind of do this to more like access more power, but it's kind of not as firmly put down on the ground that they do that. Because if people don't realize, most of the characters kind of hold back, so they're kind of only exuding a certain amount of energy. So the powering up is just accessing more energy, but people just aren't gonna. Like I said before, people aren't like media literate. They're not paying attention. Like even just with movies, just there are so many movies out there where people have things firmly stated in front of them, or it's firmly shown in like the actions of the character, but they just refuse to understand it because they just weren't paying attention. I swear, people are like stupid.
Yes, like literally, people are fucking retarded, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, you still have people out there that for some godforsaken reason like and or try to defend Doctor Strange 2, and I will never understand why. That movie sucks so much ass.
Do you know what's worse than that movie is Eternals?
Yeah, Eternals is just pointless.
Eternals is just that to me is the worst MCU movie ever made. That movie is peak levels of shit. There's not only do things make no sense to the degree of like astronomically no sense. And I'm not talking about the whole suspension of disbelief thing that you do with movies in general. This makes no sense even for that level of standards. That movie is just straight up horse shit. Who liked that movie? Eternals is awful.
Nobody. That's why the movie lost money. But the reason the reason I hate Doctor Strange 2 more is Eternals is just dumb and pointless and makes no fucking sense. Doctor Strange 2 does actual damage to post events and events that happen after the movie based on how badly they ruin certain storylines and characters. And that's why I despise that movie more.
I think for me, With Doctor Strange 2, the biggest problem I had with it was the Reed Richards thing. So if you remember that the fans really wanted John Krasinski to be casted as Reed Richards. What's crazy is Kevin Feige actually listened to them and he casted him, and he looks like Reed Richards. I think the casting to me wasn't all that like people hyped it up to be, but it's the way they treated his character. Reed Richards is supposed to be one of the smartest Marvel heroes ever. And
and then he just gets turned into spaghetti.
A sorcerer ripping him apart.
Yeah, and then and you know what the most infuriating scene about that entire encounter is? Wanda walks in there, lifts him up, turns his limbs into SpaghettiOs, all the way until she reaches his head and explodes him. And discount Captain Marvel and fake bitch-ass Captain America just stand there and watch like the two fucking tools that they are. Oh, it's like, why do you stand like specifically Captain Marvel, who has cosmic power, like she exudes cosmic radiation. The witch is distracted. Blast her, you dumb bitch.
You know what's even worse? That everyone focused on the Illuminati getting annihilated. There was a part that was even so much worse that my brain almost couldn't accept. So people know they had a Professor X in that universe, and Wanda enters into his mind, which you're like, wait, what? Isn't his power his mind? And how did she take over his mind? His power is his mind.
Yeah, he is the greatest telepathic mutant ever. Yeah. He traps her in his mindscape, and she just overpowers him and breaks his neck.
You're like, what the fuck? Logic out the window. Straight up like bullshit, man.
Yeah. And then let's talk about Zombie Strange. The fucking spirits of the fucking spirits of the dead, the souls of the damned, are there in place to keep sorcerers away from using the fucking spirit walk to reanimate dead people. And how does Strange beat them? By using sorcery. What?
Oh god, man!
Somebody got paid to write this.
Scott Derrickson left. I remember Scott Derrickson wanted it very similar to what the first film was, because the first film was actually pretty underrated and pretty solid for all things MCU is concerned. You know,
I enjoyed the first film. Perfectly fine origin story for Strange's powers.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first film. I think it's one of the more underrated MCU movies no one really talk about. And then you have the sequel, and it's like, well, they shit on Doctor Strange. They shit on the events of WandaVision because he asked her and they just get ignored. Wong's always been kind of a weirdo dummy, like
but they purposefully shit on him again.
Yeah. Then the only good part you would say about the movie is that Doctor Strange's ex is getting blacked out by a Tyrone. He lost his girlfriend to a black guy. That'll still never not be funny to me.
The only good part about that movie is that it's over and we're never getting a sequel.
And to be fair, we're also never going to watch it again. I would only rewatch that if I was doing reviews of every MCU movie, which I plan on doing eventually. That's the only reason why I watch it again. No, but other than that, there's no reason to watch that shit again. I don't even. Do you know what the like certain movies you go back on YouTube and watch like scenes from them, like scenes you like? I don't even do that. I don't even go back and watch scenes I like because there's not any I like in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the movie already died, and luckily, I watched the movie in a cinema, but luckily for me, I got my ticket for free because a friend invited me. Otherwise, I would have been even more angry to waste money on that fucking bullshit. To me, the movie started and ended in the opening scene when you have the fake Doctor Strange, like we make fun and call him Defender Strange when he runs around with America Chavez. He has, and I made the fucking joke and recounted the events in the opening scene. He had 12 chances to end the movie and didn't, meaning he's a fucking idiot. The movie could have ended 12 times in the opening 3.5 minutes if Defender Strange had one working brain cell. But because he's a retarded chuckle fuck, the movie was allowed to continue. And I hate him.
What about did you like Deadpool Wolverine?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That was good. It was solid. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just didn't like the villains in it and a few things that they did. But other than that, I had a great time at the movie theater watching that movie. It was a blast. It sucks that might be the last time we had one of those movies until fucking, God forbid, maybe an Endgame or an Avengers movie comes out, right? Good Lord, man. We're going to be getting what? Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Avengers, and Captain America 4.
No. First, in February, we're gonna get Captain America 4.
Yeah,
and
Captain
I'm gonna
Black.
Captain Black Falcon America, man. So, and to be perfectly frank with you, the fact that they shoved that movie into February leaves me to believe they have no fucking faith in that movie. Otherwise, why would you put it into the second most dead month of the cinema fucking circle?
Oh, in America, that's Black History Month, actually.
Yep, I know, but still, like, if you look at advertisement money, like ad revenue money, all of that bullshit.
Oh, true.
January and February are the two deadest fucking months in the cinema circle. And they put their main new fucking Captain America movie, the first Captain America movie after Steve Rogers has passed away, into February. Now tell me they have any faith in that movie.
I think they're only hoping that they think just because it's Black History Month with a Black Captain America, people are just going to support just based off that. That would be the only line of logic because there's no other reason to.
Oh! Yeah, but then they are even more retarded than they actually are.
Yeah, because Black people don't have money to pay for cinemas; they're on welfare. Well,
yeah, but according to the fucking government, like idiots.
The only time they saw Black Panther was when they got their welfare checks. Just saying,
No, but it's literally like the fact that they put fucking Captain America 4 into the second most dead month into the movie circle is like they have no faith in that fucking thing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Then you have the Thunderbolts. Then you
June or July, right?
I think
May.
June. May?
It's in May.
Oh, right. The movie poster. Yeah, it's like May. What is it, like 26 or some shit?
Yeah.
So, and then and this is also like, tell me they have admitted defeat. And then we get RDJ back to play Doctor Doom in the next Avengers.
Oof. That's another gamble too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And there's only two ways this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last thing that I need is if this is multiverse Tony Stark who turned evil and became Doctor Doom. So the way they can remedy this, which is obviously not what they're going to do because they're idiots, if we never see who's under the mask and we just get RDJ as the line delivery guy, because he's a great talker.
Oh,
if he is the line delivery guy, if he is simply the voice of Doom, but we never see who's behind the mask, so that they never know he looks like Tony Stark. Because otherwise, how do you justify that he looks like Tony Stark if he is not just an evil variant of Tony? Like, if he's Victor Von Doom, but he looks like Tony Stark, fucking how?
Oh, God, that would be so bad.
And I'm guaranteeing you, they do this because they're idiots. It's either...
Yeah, because
it's an evil Tony Stark, or they just pretend like he doesn't look like Tony, even though he clearly looks like Tony. Like, these people are idiots.
Yeah, when he got revealed, people were asking, is he Victor Von Doom? They were like, I don't know if that's been confirmed at all, because if he's Victor Von Doom, Fantastic Four, they're facing Galactus in their movie. That's also coming out in 2025. Yes. So, if he's Victor Von Doom, who's the Doctor Doom that they're going to have? Because we know if they have a sequel to their movie, hopefully, then, that depends off it's like successful box office wise. Then who would be the Doctor Doom for them? It's just like
that's pretty easy in theory, because even in the Fantastic Four comics, because it's set in the 60s, and then they get
right, yeah.
And then they go I forget how it happens, but they get put into some kind of like a weird fucking void storm. And when they pop out of the storm, they are in the 90s because they just span 30 years in this weird fucking void warp.
Because also in 2025, Fantastic Four comes out. They're dropping 3 movies before 2026. And in 2026, we just have Avengers Doomsday, and then 2027 it's Secret Wars. So they're going all out in 2025 to get people geared up for the next Avengers movies. Now, Spider-Man 4 is 2026, reportedly. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, And the funny thing is, they already confirmed that Doctor Doom is in Secret Wars. So here goes your expectations on how Doomsday is gonna go. Obviously, he's gonna make it because that fucker is in Secret Wars. Thank you for telling us, you chuckle fucks.
Oh, remember back when Endgame dropped? They had Far From Home trailers. They actually had Far From Home trailers come out the same time Endgame came out, and people were like, "Wait, Spider-Man's not dead?" And I was like, "Why would they kill you?" People actually thought he was dead. I was like, "Okay, we are living in just the worst clown world possible." Casual people almost legitimately thought they would kill off Spider-Man. That's crazy.
I made a reference, and you might actually get it. We live in fucking Pegasus Toon World.
Hey man, hey, at least the Toons have fun. They know how to have fun. Not in this world.
They know how to have fun.
Like, I think the only successful movies box office wise for them will be potentially they would be just the Avengers movies. I think Avengers and Spider-Man will be billion-dollar movies just off the sheer name of them alone. Because Spider-Man, No Way Home and Far From Home did that by themselves, and all Avengers movies have hit $1 billion. But that's the thing. They would probably only hit that by just name. I don't know how good those Avengers movies are going to be. I mean, to be fair, they are directed by the Russo brothers, and people did like Infinity War and Endgame. You know, toss a coin of which one you would pick. So I think those were the right decisions of bringing them back. But Captain America 4, Fantastic Four, guys doesn't even have Norrin Rad, doesn't even have Silver Surfer as a female Silver Surfer, which is technically yes from the comics, but that's like no one knows who the fuck that character was. Why are we not just getting the main Norrin Rad? I don't get it.
And also the female Silver Surfer was only in the comics for the duration of a cup of coffee. Why is she?
Yeah, it was the all different Marvel. Yeah, it was back in the 2012 thing they tried to do where they try to shuffle all their characters. Yeah.
And she had 5 issues and then got canceled. It's like, congratulations, motherfucker. You put the canceled 5-issue character over Norrin fucking Red.
Do you remember what happened, dude? Remember what happened when she got announced to play, when they announced the female Silver Surfer? People went, you guys are just hating. They'll announce the male one. Guys, yeah,
how about them apples?
Yeah, like, no, that's such bullshit that fans do, guys. Like, Silver Surfer, the only people that, even the average person will think of Silver Surfer thinks of Norrin Rad, okay? Yes. Having her be Silver Surfer means absolutely nothing because people, when they see that, are going to go, where's the guy one? Most people are going to be like, where's the dude? She isn't even going to matter if you introduce her. She's just going to be a fodder character to get to the better one, even if Fantastic Four does have another movie, you know?
Yeah. And by the way, you run into another problem because you mentioned the Spider-Man movies. The Spider-Man movies are not Disney Marvel, they're Sony. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter for Disney if they are successful or not, because it's not like they're going to get much back from them anyway.
Yeah, they have. Which one has the toy sales? Sony has the toy sales. I think Disney has cut of the box office, I think. But even that doesn't matter because you know how movies work. That money is split up in so many different people's pockets. That doesn't matter to them, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the movie money is very simple, and people never, for some reason, fucking understand this.
Yeah.
If you see a movie made like fucking, let's say, $1 billion. That's just easy money. It's $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's only, big quotation marks, only around 550 million for the studio, because that's $1 billion worldwide, and the studio gets 55% locally. Or 55% domestic, and gets between 45 to 40% internationally, and even less from China. It's only 25% out of China. So if you then math the entire global box office, depending on how well did the movie do domestically and how well did the movie do internationally, it's around 50%. So even $1 billion movie only makes $500 million for the studio.
The other thing to add on to that, because what you're saying is right, all the theaters so in America, I don't know if I was for Europe, because your territory and things of around your area, they're a bit more different when it comes to like theater cuts. For us in theaters here, I think it's about 40-50% that
45.
45, right?
You take 45 domestically, and over in Europe, over in Asia, it's depending on the market.
Right, and that's the thing is, go ahead.
Like Central Europe, for example, even the United Kingdom, it's a clean 50-50 split. Then if you go to Northern Europe, it's 55 for the country and 45 for you. Like most Asian countries, it's also about 50-55. And China takes 75%. The studio only gets 25 out of China.
Not to count distribution costs. You can't just put your movie in someone's theater for free. You got to pay them to do that.
No, that's why that's where the cut comes from. That's why the cut is that big of a percentage. So again, like even if you have $1 billion movie, you make around like 500, 550. If you're really strong domestically, let's say 600. Okay. But now if you look at like a fucking Marvel movie, they cost like $300 million, and that's without marketing. So add another 100, 150 million marketing, that's $450 million. Now you made like 600. Okay, you made 150 million in profits of a project that costs you nearly $500 million. That's not the big win you think it is.
Yeah, that's the other problem too that people fail to understand when it comes to like movie math. Because, oh god, I try to explain it every video because I will understand. Just because you see like a movie made $100 million, yeah, that number kind of looks impressive, but you also have to look at budget. And usually, as you know, with big blockbuster tentpoles, they have big marketing budgets. Some are like 30 million as lowest, some have like $80 million marketing costs, and you have the theaters that need all their cuts. Actually, you have to factor in the amount of money the studio makes gets cut and split in everybody's pocket. You know, people just look at the end result number and think the studio just got all that, and it's like, oh god, holy shit. Like this one guy, he kept telling me, well, Rise of the Beast was good for the studio, it broke even. I'm like, brother, okay, he had a Troon flag in his bio too, so you know he wasn't retarded. You guys know that break even is bad, okay? Break even in business terms means you do not gain or lose any money. That means essentially from business terms you lost. Studios do not want to break even because that means you don't get anything and you probably lose money based on what you said too. You have to people take their cuts of that box office, and then also keep in mind they already paid you out of pocket for all those actors and all those directors and producers, everybody, right? Breaking even is not good. I don't know why people keep mentioning that's terrible. A movie that break even is a loss. I'm sorry, it's an L. So you look at Transformers Rise of the Beast, that's an L. Transformers Rise of the Beast was a $200 million budgeted movie. The marketing was around what, $60-80 million. So that means the movie would have taken what, $800 million to break even, not profit, break even. You know, there's two differences between that. People forget there's between breaking even and profit. And the movie only made 450. Guys, that's a failure on every single possible level. If you think breaking even is good, you are just stupid. You're dumb.
And then like you look at some of the great success stories, like look at Gojira -1. The entire movie, including marketing, cost a grand total of $15 million, and it made 116 million worldwide, meaning they got around 58 to 59 million on a movie that cost 15.
See, that's how you manage your money. That's how you manage your budget.
That's a 300% profit. More than 300% profit. They're just sitting there like, rolling in the cash.
Because that's the other thing that people are going to factor in that's a problem too, is when a studio is greenlighting these movies, as most actors will tell you, they're just paid up front, whether how little or much some of them get. You're already paying out of the pocket for a movie you don't even know if it's going to be successful box office wise. And back in the day, movies used to run like what? I don't know if it was in your territory. And here in America, we used to run movies like way back in like 6 months was the average, right? You run a movie for like 6 months. It comes out on DVD. Now movies have to perform within like about 3 weeks, or they'll just get sent to streaming because it's a loss to just keep it running in the theaters if it's just getting you no money at all. Like Borderlands, flop. The Crow reboot movie, flop.
Dead.
God, Lionsgate taking L after L. And this is the same company that wants to do a Naruto live action movie. People thought I was going off the Borderlands movie. They make a Naruto live action movie, and Sakura is the main character. Woo! I might actually turn out to be nerdrotic on this channel. I will actually lose my.
If that happens, I'm coming back, and we absolutely take the piss out of that one.
I'm saying right now, I know they're gearing to make a Naruto live action movie. I will actually eviscerate that movie into the fucking ground. I don't know what there's. I don't know what story arc they're gonna do. If they do Land of Waves, oh god! If we get a white, oh my god, we might actually get a fucking Asian Zabuza. Not Asian Zabuza. Oh my god, can help. Sasuke might actually be black. Holy crap! Diversity and inclusion.
Imagine them doing the fucking Chunin exams.
Yeah, that's your first arc.
Oh god.
Imagine what Orochimaru would look like. Harvey Weinstein? I'm just kidding.
No, Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh no. Hey, to be fair, I wouldn't like this, but if you casted Orochimaru as P. Diddy, you know what? I let it slide.
and then just take fucking clean white and paint over him.
He's wearing white face. Holy shit. No, I'm not kidding. Lionsgate, that company that recently just did that shitty Borderlands movie and that Crow reboot movie that died at the box office, no pun intended. They're doing a Naruto live action movie.
Yeah, I know.
Why? If they have,
because they're idiots.
If they have $30 million, fuck me, bend me over and fuck me twice. Why not just make more animated movies off of that?
Because these people are cleanly retarded.
Like I never understood that.
No, the people at Lionsgate are so they're so airheaded. If you take a flashlight and put it to the back of their head, their fucking eyes start glowing. There's nothing in between there.
I'll shoot about anime because it goes in the conversation anyway. This obsession with live action anime, I don't get it. I've never understood it. Anime is supposed to be consumed in the form that it's in because it's able to show you the best of its qualities in that designated format. Yeah, there are certain animes that can potentially be live action. More or less, I'll be honest, as someone that's loved anime my entire life, I'd rather just watch an animated form. Why are they so ashamed of the animation format? I don't get it.
No. So you need to look at who is producing it, and we don't want to point any fingers or name any names. Netflix, but it's very fucking simple. These people believe that if we show it in live action, then more people are gonna watch it because grown-ass people would not watch cartoons. I'm here to tell you, motherfucker, you don't know shit.
Yeah, that is the common sentiment. The common sentiment is that the average adult sees basically animation or cartoons as for kids. And it's like, so we're not going to have it in the best desired format because a bunch of people just see it for kids?
That's what people believe. It's not
true.
actually the known fact. Because, for example, Kodansha did a breakdown of the demographic that buys the One Piece volumes when they come out from the One Piece manga. Mm-hmm. Most of the known demographic, which Oracle provides for the States, so for you guys in America, most people that buy the One Piece manga volumes in the United States are 25 and up. But grown-ass men would not watch a cartoon. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. And I never even got that argument that people would give. They're like, it's just for kids. Well, something can be designed for kids, but that wouldn't automatically mean it's bad. Like, why is that if like a cartoon animated movie come out and its desired genre is if it's desired dedicated people that it needs to watch as kids. Well, just because it's a kid's movie, I'm not saying anime is, but just in general, like just because it would be for kids, wouldn't make it automatically bad. I feel like people just do that too much. It's like, is it a good movie or not? I don't care if it's for kids. That means nothing because a kid won't even know if it's a good movie anyway until they're like much older. Like the Mario Brothers movie just came out and made $1 billion last year, did it not? Mario's for everybody. It's not a kid's movie. Mario's literally for everybody.
1.34 or some shit. Like 1.35, like some shit like this.
Yeah.
Didn't Barbie come out? And for good reason.
Isn't Barbie based off a toy?
Yes. But the funny thing also is like, for example, if you look at the One Piece live action series on Netflix, which to be fair actually wasn't complete ass. Why did it succeed where every other live action project has failed? Because the manga author, fucking Oda Ichiryu, had creative control and kept vetoing fucking Netflix's attempts to sabotage and put in like random modern ass bullshit. And Oda just sat there and was like, "No, we're doing it my way and no other business." Yeah, they wanted to cut the line between Kuina and Zoro when we see their flashback. When Kuina says there's one simple truth in life: yes, a girl can beat a boy, but no women will ever beat a man. They wanted to cut that line.
Mhm.
And we're talking about sword fighting here. So you show me a biological woman versus a biological man, both in their adult years, in a sword fighting competition where both strength and speed is required. And you show me the woman that is going to win if they are equally skilled. I'm waiting. But Netflix actually tried to rewrite that line, and Oda would not have it. He literally put his foot down and is like, this is the line that is written in the manga. This is the line that will be set in the adaptation. End of discussion. And he exercised his creative control and fucking vetoed it.
Did you like the live action One Piece series? I didn't watch it. I just watched the anime, like I did.
Overall, it's fine. Overall, it's fine. Like, there are certain issues with it, but nothing like, it's ruining One Piece, whatever.
Yeah.
I actually like a few changes that they're making because, like, specifically if you have no idea about the story, they introduce Garp very early.
That, yeah.
So they're not specifically telling you that he's related, but they're introducing Garp much earlier. Specifically after the Captain Morgan incident, because that's in the Netflix version. Obviously, when they go when Luffy recruits Zoro. And so after Captain Morgan gets defeated, Garp shows up to arrest him, which also happens in the anime, but the time difference between when it is shown in episodes is much greater. So in the live action version, he shows up earlier, so Garp gets introduced earlier, and we get introduced to Garp's way of looking at that not every pirate immediately is evil just because he's labeled as a pirate. And because Garp knows better, given his interactions with Roger. Roger was not an evil man, and Garp knows this. So Garp knows. Do you have evil pirates? Yes. Is every pirate automatically evil? No. Just because they are labeled as a pirate doesn't even mean they have to be, because who decides who's a pirate or not? The world government.
Yeah.
So not even every pirate has to be a pirate.
Crazy.
And Garp knows. And we get introduced to Garp's idea of that. No, just because you get labeled a certain thing doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Much earlier, which gives you a stronger which gives you a stronger sense of Garp's morality. And specifically because he takes in Kobe and trains Kobe and Helmeppo, which also happens in the anime, which is correct. But they get raised under his idea of judge for yourself and not just blindly believe what others tell you.
Damn, Oda was really far ahead with that storytelling. The government labeling certain people as certain thing and having the average person believe it.
Yeah, I mean, you had this. If you go when you go into the anime, when you go back to Skypiea, we are introduced to Noland, and Noland was just an adventurer, but the world government doesn't have adventurers like this. They view you as a lawless man that just travels from island to island and does whatever the fuck you want as a free man on the sea, and they cannot govern this. So how do they govern you? They slap you with the label of, oh, he's just a pirate going from island to island doing mischief, even though that's not what Nolan did. But he was branded as a pirate and was later executed because of that status, which the world government just slapped on him. And again, Garp knows, because Garp knows Roger, Garp knows Shanks. He knows Shanks isn't evil. He has seen Shanks take care of fucking Luffy and Ace and shit. So he knows Shanks is not an evil guy. So he has seen both sides. Has he seen evil pirates? Absolutely. But he has also seen people that may even fly the pirate flag, but are just living a free life, trying to be their own people, just go onto the sea, have adventures and shit, and still they're being labeled as, oh, because you are, in quotation marks, a pirate, you must be evil, thus the Marines must exterminate you and throw you into jail or whatever, so fuck you. And God knows that's bullshit. And so he teaches that to the next generation of Marines: judge for yourself and don't just blindly believe what other people say. And that idea is introduced in the live action version very early on, which I actually appreciate. That's a change I'm fully on board with.
There was a casting that I heard got announced. It was Don Mangiello. It's gonna be Crocodile.
Yes.
That sounds great.
Yes.
That sounds
he
awesome.
he even showed off that one of his fans actually sent him a 25-inch resin statue of Crocodile, and he has it in his fucking living room, being like, "Fuck yeah, look at this. That's me." Bitch. Like, fuck yeah.
The problem that Netflix is going to run into is they're going to try and do this with other anime. We've heard about the Yu Yu Hakusho one for a long time, but I doubt that'll ever happen at this point. But who knows?
The Yu Yu Hakusho one is already out.
It is? Oh, crap.
Yes.
Huh.
And
checking it out.
Yeah, and I've already seen it. And the same with the Yu Yu Hakusho one. Is it a perfect adaptation? No.
Mhm.
Is it absolute horseshit? No. It's perfectly fine. Like,
Mhm.
I would say the One Piece adaptation is better for the adaptation of the material, but the Yu Yu Hakusho one is not horrible. They nailed the action scenes. They nailed specifically Yusuke's character as being like kind of carefree, but if he has to get serious, he will put the serious shoes on. And then fucking Yusuke's hands are rated E for everyone. They nailed that part. And so obviously certain fight choreography is absolutely all over the place, but welcome to anime land.
Yeah.
But it's still perfectly acceptable. Like, nothing majorly wrong with it, specifically compared to some other shit. But still, so far, specifically given Oda's involvement in the project, the One Piece live action is the current fucking bar that has been set that has yet been met.
The other thing I'll ask, which is gaming. Gaming's gone through a lot of controversies recently.
Oh god, don't get me started.
There's like too many. We'll just do one. Fucking hell. Which is the recent one? Oh, Star Wars Outlaw. The Star Wars game that came out. Apparently it sold almost under or a little bit over 1 million copies. The CEO basically blamed gamers for the failure of Star Wars Outlaw.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you not buy our shit that doesn't work?
But then, dude, the average person is like, how can you prove they're actually blaming you? Here's article. Here's exactly what person said. He didn't mean it that well. Fucking hell. Shut up.
Do you know what I find even funnier? Ubisoft is getting sued with a class action lawsuit by their own investors.
I didn't know that.
Because here's the thing. During the last investors call, the CEO of Ubisoft told the investors that fan engagement and fan interest in both Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows was really positive and really high. By that point, he made that statement. He already had the pre-order numbers for Star Wars Outlaws and knew that was a blatant fucking lie and that nobody gave a shit. He knew how Japan fucking destroyed Assassin's Creed Shadows over fucking cultural appropriation and falsifying history.
Yeah.
He knew all of that, and he blatantly lied on tape in the investors call into the face of the investors, knowing that both games are absolute in the toilet, and they are now filing for a class action lawsuit against Ubisoft.
The one thing that he did say in the quote, you will know it, you read it, the part where he said just making a solid game isn't enough for it anymore.
Are you dumb, good sir? Are you retarded?
People are fine with solid quality. Now, if there's quality games that excel past that, people will definitely praise those games more. But if that's the thing is, that's all I wanted. That's all I want out of things is just be solid, just be content. You know, you have to be a masterpiece every time. What are you talking about?
I mean, solid isn't enough anymore. Remnant 2, 2 million copies. Space Marine 2, over 2 million copies. Stellar Blade, over 2 million copies. Fucking Black Myth Wukong made $1 billion. But hey, solid games don't count anymore.
I don't even know that. I don't know how that even makes sense. Imagine going to a restaurant you know isn't like amazing, but it's solid food. You know what you get. Imagine that not being good enough. Like that doesn't make any logical sense at all.
Yeah,
who's telling them this?
Yeah, the fucking Ubisoft, because these motherfuckers are retarded. But it's also great, like Game Science, the studio that made Black Myth Wukong, 185 people. Ubisoft, 20,000 employees.
Yeah. Black Myth Wukong apparently is one of the fastest selling games of all time. Keep in mind, guys, that's how many games we've had. That's one of the fastest selling games ever.
Yeah, when Black Myth Wukong Wukong came out, they had a shortage of PS5s in China because they were sold out because of the game. They had to re-import new PS5s from Europe and from Japan because they didn't have any more. They literally made $1 billion in like 2 weeks.
I will never understand what that means. Like, I think he said something along the lines of just making a solid game is not enough anymore. We have to make excellent quality. Well, a lot of the companies have not been making excellent quality. Getting solid is bare minimum, not even a standard anymore.
Yeah, but then you look at fucking Star Wars Outlaws, and first of all, you look at the main character, and it's like, bro, why do you have like the fucking gape in the chin, like it looks like a butt cheek? Like, why do you look like a guy? Like, why are your stealth takedowns against stormtroopers a fucking bitch slap against their helmet, and then they're just dead? Like, what the fuck is this? Your stealth mechanics are
Outlaw game. Actually, what the Star Wars Outlaw game proves, I have not played it, so I can't say the game's quality itself, but just from the sales numbers, that proves right there that Star Wars as a brand is just so far down the drain compared to what it used to be. Keep in mind, we just had one of the lowest viewed Star Wars show ever, which is the Acolyte, was probably the lowest viewed. Now this game is not selling very well. Disney has really, really shitted on the Star Wars brand. It's over.
Yep. Come on. There's only one game that has hope left, because EA has confirmed they're making a third and final Star Wars Jedi game. So we had Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, and now we're getting the third and final installment of that trilogy. That is the only Star Wars game that might sell well, given how good the first two were. Because Jedi Fallen Order, very well received, sold very well. Gameplay mechanics were very neat. Like, didn't reinvent the wheel, but a perfectly solid, good toned little game. Self-contained story. Yes, you had the cameo of Vader at the end, but it doesn't tie into any major events in the Star Wars world. So self-contained story, nicely told, good characters. Then you go into Jedi Survivor. Again, neat little story. Gameplay still just as good as in the first one. They improved on a few mechanics, changed some stuff, obviously, and overall still a very good game, sold very well. Obviously, they're going to make a third one, and as long as EA doesn't EA and let the studio just do basically the same thing again, make some minor changes, minor improvements, story is nice, and you get a good finish to Kyle's story, life will be easy, that game will sell. Everything else that is currently being touched that is called Disney Star Wars is just tarnished and will die in a fucking burning dumpster.
Yeah, that's the point we're at right now, where gaming is so just up in the air. We had this, Sony has all of its problems, Nintendo suing Power World for a patent that they just kind of only started to do some bullshit right there, but they're still largely really loved by a lot of people. Xbox, I mean, they just tank themselves. Xbox literally, dude, this is what I thought the other day, dude. Xbox is the one-trick pony at this point. All they can sell you is Game Pass. They have nothing else. All they can sell you is Game Pass. That's horrible. That's all they got. They got nothing.
And then Sony comes out with the PS5 that doesn't even have a fucking disc drive.
That you have to pay $80 extra for.
Holy shit. The best meme I saw for that one is like they call me 007, zero games, zero disc drive, $700.
God, man.
And then even if you get the solid fucking disc drive, you have to fucking install it and then activate it online.
Oh god. Like I get people love gaming. I really do myself. I love all the nerd shit essentially. But
fuck yeah.
There are some gamers out there that will literally just get on their knees and take it up the ass for Sony. Even with not even just, I don't like using that word objectively, but in a lot of situations, gamers will literally just get on their knees for anything Sony tells them to do. It's horrible. They're mad at PC gamers now for getting games day one like they do. It's like, you're still gonna buy a console anyway. Why are you mad that the PC gamer can get the game day one like you can? No, it's no different.
And the funny thing is, because they're even more retarded. Because if you think about it, if you are a diehard Sony fanboy,
Mhm.
Wouldn't you want Sony to make more money so they can make more product?
God, man. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
in theory, if you are a diehard Sony fanboy, you
Mhm.
would want Sony to make maximum profit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why is it bad that games are releasing on PC where PC players can buy them so Sony makes more money?
I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah,
It's
I feel like
fucking,
PC
it's so
players
fucking
are
dumb.
the most like it was that thing with Helldivers too that really got them. They're so whiny. It's like, are you not? What? What are you talking about? Sony was actively trying to screw over a bunch of people. It was definitely within the customer's right to tell them to fuck off with that.
Yeah,
They were
a
trying to
hundred
basically
and
literally scam people. Like, no.
yeah, 177 login regions. By the way, who are
Yeah.
still locked out of the game.
Yeah. So if you went and bought that game for $70, you'd be locked out. Sony was it's still literally trying to scam people. Like, no, of course we're gonna call that out. If you want to sit there, take it up the ass from Sony, go ahead. Not me. Fuck that.
Oh,
They
fuck
want to
no.
not make money? Sure. I'll just not pay for their shit then. I'll go buy their old
Yeah.
shit, which they can make money off of buying from game stores.
Yeah, it's like, hey, be my guest. And then they have like, and by the way, the fucking bullshit with Nintendo. It's not even Nintendo. Nintendo is just aiding in the suit. The suit itself is filed by the Pokemon Company, and they got the pattern that they're suing for. Literally, the approval for the pattern. They got the approval back from the court by the time Palworld was already out. So legally, they have no leg to stand on anyway. So get folded. Like they're literally getting folded like fucking shitty origami, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Speaking of Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed.
Don't get me started. We're gonna be here till tomorrow.
Delayed. Oh no, you're fine. It got delayed. It actually got delayed till 2025. Yep. I thought the people online were just bigot, toxic trolls. People, I thought they were a loud minority. Oh wait,
yeah. And by the way, it got delayed till Valentine's Day next year.
Yeah, that's what you want for your girlfriend. Buy them a big giant black guy for them to go be in a fucking Assassin's Creed game. Yep, perfect Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah, absolute fucking idiot. And the funny thing is general, because an insider report came out from somebody that worked on the game. Apparently, and now big disclaimer. This is a reported insider, so still take this with a giant pinch of salt. Yeah? Giant pinch of salt. Apparently, when they started to work on Assassin's Creed Shadows, the male protagonist was still Japanese, and then the George Floyd incident happened, and Ubisoft was like, oh, we can profit off of this. Let's make the male protagonist black.
And to be fair, even though it does sound like a wild, crazy rumor, I wouldn't put it past them to do that.
That's the thing. I would not put it past them to actually do that, because if you take a still image of Yasuke and then put a still image of George Floyd next to him, you kind of see it. And that's the problem. You kind of see it.
Ubisoft is going absolutely to the fucking shitter, and I love it. You know what's crazy about these companies not making money as much as they used to, or like things just aren't guaranteed money like they used to be? That's good. It'll make them actively understand that people will not just pay for anything you put in front of them anymore. Because back in the day, they kind of only just got money because they were just the only thing, and some of it came out late and some of it came out too early. There's a bunch of reasons why they got money as much as they did. But now we're at a point where people are like, no, I don't need to grab that instantly. You make a good product and that'll be worth my time. You know, you're still gonna have your base average people that just buy just because they just love being abused. But there's people now, they're like, nope, you make a good product, then I'll give you my money. You're not, because they legitimately thought through all these many years of all these big companies making money, guys, they just thought they were entitled to your money. That's it. They thought they were legitimately just, I deserve that because I've made so many successes. And it's like, no, you have to keep making successes. It just doesn't stop, right? You can't just like put in a bunch of bullshit and be like, oh, they'll buy that too. Yeah, it's not how that works, actually.
Yeah, that's not how that works. It's not how this has worked. This is not how this is ever going to work again, because specifically independent gaming is going and going and going. So if you sit there and be like fucking Ubisoft or whoever, like BioWare with the new fucking Dragon Age that looks like complete booty cheeks, don't worry, we have a billion other games to play. We do not need you. You need us.
Yeah.
We do not need you. And until these chuckle fucks understand this, let them go bankrupt. See if I give a fuck.
Yeah. Also, if you want to play the other Assassin's Creed games, I never played any of these games, so it was a franchise I was naturally attracted to. Go play the other ones. Go play all the other ones you can. You don't have to
Yes.
wait on playing this one.
Oh fuck no. Go play Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3. Play Black Flag, which is arguably still the best one because fuck yeah, assassins and pirates.
Mm-hmm.
And like even with like Assassin's Creed Origins, then Odyssey, Valhalla, you already saw the trend of this is no longer an Assassin's Creed game. You're not playing an assassin. You're playing somebody that wields a random weapon, and you play like a very shitty discounted version of God of War and just fighting enemies with like triple hitboxes and all that bullshit. It's like, where's the assassin gameplay? Like, what happened? We used to kill people with one stealth attack from like you sneak out of the shadows, grab the motherfucker, hidden wrist blade in his neck, and he's dead. Now you need to do that 3 times in a row under a full moon in order to maybe beat like some fucking mini boss. What happened?
Oh man,
what happened? Where is the assassin gameplay? Like, what?
They're assassinating their own wallets right now. I love how the game's called Assassin's Creed, and it's just that name is so ironic. I love it. I love when these companies just absolutely fail. I don't want it for like the average person working there, because there could be average people that are working that just have a job, but they need to understand that too. You know, these companies are just getting into their heads. Well, I understand why they keep doing this. If gamers don't like certain things and they know it potentially has a problem with selling the game, then don't do it then. It's just that simple. It's not like this, like 2 + 2 = 4, mx squared plus b, the graph and the dynamics. We gotta do trigonometry. No, just fucking don't do it. It's not that hard. You know, gamers are fine. Guys, Sony, people that like Sony's PlayStation are still taking it up the ass for every single decision they've ever made. From the time they were started as a gaming company to now, it's not changed. They're like, I'm sticking with Sony no matter what they do. You know, they stole content out of people's consoles this year, right? Nah, it's fine. They don't care, right? So gamers' standards are extremely low when it comes to like what you're able to do with them sometimes, but not with stuff like that. If you're tampering with the only thing that they have for escapism, they're not gonna want that shit, you know?
Oh, fuck no. And that's the neat part, is like, okay, like even if like, okay, the next game that I actually want to play comes out in like fucking 6 months, I have so much back catalog that I can play. Or if nothing to play, I have so much shit that I can just watch on the sideline and get my entertainment elsewhere. I am not required to sit there and be like, oh, let's just play insert random bullshit as horrible optimized fucking like Star Wars Outlaws. The fact that shit had a minimum requirement of a 3060 is absolutely disgraceful. Given how the game looks, how do you need a 3060 base as the requirement minimum specs? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Or Ghost of Yote. Holy fuck, man.
The funny thing is, I actually do not get the drama about Ghost of Yote. And I will be perfectly honest with you, I don't get it. Because everything that everybody's upset about right now is the English voice actress for Atsu might be a little bit of a nutter when it comes to her political views. Okay. She is a voice actress. Like, do we forget Mark Hamill, who is also a complete fucking nutter? Does anybody here look at Mark Hamill and be like, yeah, but just because he's a bit of a nutter, now all of a sudden all his voice work as the Joker for like the animated Batman series, the Arkham games, now that's now all of a sudden shit just because he's an idiot? Like, she's just a voice actress. Who cares? If you don't like her voice work in English, play in another fucking language. Doesn't matter. And the other argument that I've seen with Ghost of Yote, which I find absolutely absurd, is people sit there and be like, oh, another franchise that was built on masculinity is ruined by a female protagonist. First of all, how is the Ghost series a franchise if it's only one game deep? Second of all, Ghost of Tsushima is not a game based on or built off of masculinity. It's a playable it's a playable historical drama. It's not God of War or some shit. It's a playable historical drama. A good written drama. It doesn't matter who the main character is, because a well-written drama works with both genders, because that's how it's written. Take Sakai Jin from the first game and replace him with a woman immediately in the first game, it would not change any story element in the first game, not a single one. So it doesn't matter. So if they decide, okay, the first one played in 1300, and now we got the second game, which is in 1603, so over 300 years later. It's 300 years later. It's in current day Hokkaido because it's the area around Mount Yotei. And they decided to tell a new story with a new ghost, a new person to wear the ghost mask. And that character happened to be a woman. Great. Where is the drama and where is the problem? Until we see gameplay and or until story elements are revealed, there is no problem. People are making it a problem because people are idiots and have the range of understanding of a brick. You can
I would say why. That's fine too.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Like you know the videos when the fucking wedding cake just falls down and crashes into the ground? That's their comprehension skills.
Right? I think the only big problem that I had with the Ghosts of Yotei drama was the fact that there have been so many patterns with these gaming companies. Like, is this one going to be the one that doesn't get involved with all that stuff? To be fair, it's very possible. Deadpool Wolverine had that recently, and everyone gave Deadpool Wolverine that benefit of doubt. It's not going to be what the other Marvel movies were. And they're right. It wasn't. True. So could this game potentially be that? I hope. You have to go and hoping because I don't know. It's so up in the air right now. And I hope it doesn't have that bullshit in there too. I agree with you. I hope it doesn't have that stuff in there, honestly.
And the thing is, like, I understand people being cautious, right? Like, I understand like caution and restraint. Fair enough. But people are going so hard out of their way to already shit on something that we have no information of what it's actually about. They make themselves look like idiots. And I don't get why. Because, like, as soon as we get story beats, as soon as we get gameplay, if that doesn't make any sense and you then want to shit on it, fine, be my guests. But right now, there are two literal facts. Sucker Punch made an amazing game with Ghost of Tsushima, to the point where they got honored by the island of Tsushima in Japan as official ambassadors of the island. For Japan to impose, to grant that title to foreigners is more significant than I think people understand, because Japan does not give ambassador titles out lightly. And still, Sucker Punch earned their ambassador title through Ghost of Tsushima. I think there is the beneficial reason to at least give them a small amount of trust that they are not just immediately going to turn around with their second game in the series and immediately bend the knee and fuck it up. Now, if they do, fair enough. Call them out and call the game bullshit. But if they don't, and this is what I think should happen, and I already tell you nobody's going to do, everybody that's sitting on the internet right now and is talking so much shit about the game, if the game comes out and turns out to be good, they should all turn around, go to Sucker Punch, and literally kiss their asses and apologize for being a bunch of rude-ass motherfuckers. And I guarantee you none of them will.
Like you said, hasn't done anything wrong to warrant that. I understand it from the company point of view. The company point of view is to be cautious of. But the actual game, like you said before, Sucker Punch, they haven't done anything to warrant this level of distrust. They haven't earned that level of distrust yet. They haven't done anything bad, you know?
No, they haven't. And again, I can understand because we have been burned so many times. Like, first one this, and then all of a sudden, like, here's your next female character, blah, 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 girl boss bullshit. I get it. But can we wait to shit on something until we have actual reason for, outside of, I don't like the new protagonist, so it's now shit? Because you now look like unintelligent fucking apes.
Yeah, because I think people are confusing, like, giving their reactions like normal people would when you see something new, as far as like a level-headed take. Most people haven't had level-headed takes in a while when it comes to that. Just, you know, like when you see the announcement of something, people are automatically saying it's bad without even seeing anything. Now, I will fall into that a little bit too, but I always tell people, hey, you can have bad trailers for things, and then the stuff that comes out is good. But people never see it that way. It's never a flip thing. It's always, if it's bad from the trailer and it's bad, obviously, from the game, it's like, well, that doesn't even make sense. You're just judging one aspect of it. Now, to be fair, the trailers are supposed to get you to buy the game. So if the trailers are bad, that could be an indicator. Yes. But people themselves are not like, they're not being level-headed. They're just going with automatically it's bad because I set a bad trailer. And to be fair, even Lever's up with Star Wars Outlaw. The trailers look bad. I watched the gameplay on YouTube. It looked pretty bad. So there you go. But that's not going to be the case with everything, though. People are taking like one case things or like maybe a few instances and applying it to everything. It's like, it's way better to just be a rational person when it comes to most things. Like the Ghost of Yote, oh my goodness. The internet straight up burnt, like the Joker burnt the money in the Dark Knight. It actually was just insane. I've never seen something that bad. That's horrible.
Honestly, just and specifically, like what you also need to understand, all we got was the announcement trailer for Ghost of Yote. Yeah. This is not even the actual trailer. This was just like, oh, by the way, game in the works, neat. So we still do not have a story trailer. We still do not have a gameplay trailer. We know absolutely fuck nothing outside of it plays in 1903. It plays in the region around Mount Yote, which is located in Hokkaido in Japan. The current ghost is called Atsu and is a woman. And that's all we have. And again, if you don't like Erika Ishii, who is the English voice actress for Atsu, because she might be a political nutter, may I refer you back to Mark Hamill, and nobody will sit here and complain about his voice work as the Joker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's still a fucking nutter.
Or any voice actor, for that matter. Like, those ones from the English dub animes people like, I imagine some of them are straight up raging leftists. But you would never go up to the person that plays Vegeta, Chris Sabat, and like, hey, you're fucking trash. Like, come on, because he doesn't have the same political views, No,
but I just take the Mark Hamill one because I guarantee you more people know him than they know some of the other ones.
Oh, true, yeah.
Specifically, given the shit he posts on Twitter,
yeah.
So you can still be a fucking dick and still be good at your job. Imagine both is possible, right? Mm-hmm. And so because both is possible, like we do not know. Specifically, if you look at Erika Ishii's other work, like she is one of the characters in fucking Apex Legends. I believe it's Viper. And that character's voice work is perfectly fine. And all her other characters, like none of her characters have bad line delivery or any of that shit because she gets paid to do a job. And that job is read the script and read it in a particular way that is coherent with the scene that you have in front of you. As long as she can perform that job, who are we to sit there and be like, yeah, but she's a leftist, so obviously she's shit and the game is now trash because she's in it. Like, that just makes you look stupid.
Yeah, because if we use that level of logic you're applying to things, then that means nobody can pretty much like anything, because most of the entertainment does kind of come from that side. There might be some hidden conservatives there, but that's why I gotta tell people, it's like, yeah, like people like her are demented weirdos, but I'm not taking political advice from that dumb bitch. Can she do voice lines good? Great. That's all I need her for. It's the same thing with Eminem. People were shitting on Eminem. He's like, he doesn't like conservatives. Why do I care if Eminem likes conservatives? Can he rap? Can he produce me good music? Cool. Awesome. All I need him for. People are like legit thinking that their favorite movie actor should have their political views. And it's like, even if they do or don't, I don't care, because I'm not coming to them for that. I'm not going to Ben Affleck for political advice. Are you out of your mind? Why would I go to him for that? He's not supposed to be used for that. It's like I'm supposed to be used for sex, for like my hot ladies. But
yeah, but it's basically like it's a tale as old as time as separate the artist from the art.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can appreciate the art that has been done and still dislike the artist for being a dick. A musician in his private life can be the absolute worst human being.
Yeah.
Obviously, as long as he doesn't go out and fucking shoot people or some shit. But
or he's he
yeah, and have like 874 dildos at his mansion and like 12 tons of baby oil. Like, what the fuck?
Outside of that.
Yeah, but like you can just like let's say you can still be your normal level asshole and still have a good product. You can still be good at your job. Like the guy that sells you shit at Walmart can be the single greatest salesman to ever sell you shit and privately be an absolute fucking retard. Who cares? He's good at selling you shit that you want. So what does it matter? The guy is good at his job. Leave him alone. Like, who gives a fuck?
It was just so crazy that it took the Ghost of Yote drama to break the straw on the camel's back, with people calling each other like, "You're a leftist if you don't agree with my opinion." And it's like, what happened to just like agreeing to disagreeing, and we understand where we're coming from because we are under a level of mindset where we're not trying to like attack each other. It's just for heated conversation. Yet so much just, man, those few days on Twitter when that game got announced was just some of the worst. It's like
the amount of accounts that I have muted because they are literally getting on my nerves and they're making my piss boil by how fucking retarded they are. It's absolutely unbelievable.
It's actually insane that we got to a point where, you know what I think really is, for the last thing I'll cap it off for the show, which is, I think people got into this mindset of agreeing with each other too much. And then when something came out that Hollywood would make, because, you know, there's something that they'll always make that people are going to disagree on. People never went through that. But it's like, that should be a given that we're not going to agree on everything. You know, it happened earlier this year with Fallout. Remember that Fallout TV series that came out that people said they enjoyed, but some didn't. But that should be expected, though. Sometimes they are going to make something that you like. Sometimes they're going to make something that someone doesn't like. But that's fine. That's a fine thing. We're not it's always like expected that certain people in like this sphere to agree with each other. It's like, no, it should not be expected to agree with each other. That's called an echo chamber, guys. You got to have that.
Oh, fuck no. And the funny thing with the Fallout series is I actually sit in the middle where, as a series that you can watch for entertainment purposes, as a television show, I like it. As a series that is in context with the lore of Fallout, specifically bridging the lore between Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, I hate it, because the story elements that happen in the show, if that is to be a bridge between 3 and New Vegas, actually fucks both. So, but I can separate my mind in being like, okay, this is not official, actual canon lore. This, like, so obviously, but the big fucking hat. But if it were, it would be absolutely atrocious because it fucks the lore in both Fallout 3 and New Vegas. But as an isolated piece of entertainment, as a television show,
yeah,
like, some of the story elements make no fucking sense, but like nothing is perfect. Spoiler warning. And so, but it's still perfectly fine, watchable entertainment. It's not horrible. It's not the worst shit you've ever seen. It will not make you angry to the point where you pull your hair out and be fucking bald at 25. It's perfectly acceptable television. You might even enjoy it more than others. Just don't treat it as actual lore to the Fallout universe, and life is good.
Oof. And the last few things I'll ask you, man. First thing is, do you have anything planned coming up that people should know about, or you just gonna be on Twitter just chilling?
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Twitter chilling, and tomorrow we have the weekly podcast with our lovely host, the real Tomby on Twitter, which is the Hump Day Chinwag, where I will also be present as per usual, like fucking 23 weeks in a row. Let's go. And yeah, we will basically take the piss out of whatever dumb shit happened this week specifically, and because like we each bring like our own topic to discuss, and fucking it came out via a report from the Hollywood Reporter that Hollywood production has ceased by like 40%, so production value is down by almost half from what it was 4 years ago. Thanks to like the fucking strike and all that bullshit, they have cut down production by 40% across the industry. And I'm happy about this because fuck around and find out. So yeah. that would be the Hump Day podcast tomorrow. So obviously both like I will obviously retweet it on Twitter. We go live at 8 o'clock UK time. That's like I want to say like 1 p.m. for you guys.
Yeah, that's like, when I usually see him go live. Yeah.
And so outside of that, it's like me shit posting on Twitter. And if I get certain little things done on the sideline, specifically fixing my fucking PC that's broke, I will actually start trying to get that shit fixed. Has been like eternity problems, because it turns out if you are fucking disability retired, you don't make really much money. So good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to get a new PC to run. That's like Mission Impossible, but the real one.
Well,
but so if I ever get that shit sorted out, because I've actually planned to start a YouTube channel, but we will see when and how that goes.
Okay. Last thing I'll ask you, man. You have any shout outs you want to give to anyone in particular? Anything else you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, like again, it will be the podcast tomorrow. If you want to catch that one, again, I will retweet it on Twitter, so you can follow me on Twitter at madman_Hanayama. And outside of that one, it will be at The Real Tomby. And he will also obviously go live. And it's also gonna be live on Twitter. So if you don't fancy watching it on the YouTubes or anything, we will go live on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and Twitter.
Yes, sir. So
yes,
just want to say thank you to Hanayama-san for coming on for the first time. It was great talking to you, man. And
hey, no problem.
Yeah, can't wait to have you on again. We'll probably have you on if you want to ever come on like a panel show. Just we'll have to work that out in advance later on, because I forgot you're, always busy banging out all these women, and you're always so busy with going around Europe and taking horses and drinking tea. Isn't that what you guys do over there?
Drinking hot sake.
Oh, God.
Hey, gotta represent the Japanese gene pool. Fuck yeah.
Hey, I'm an egg roll too. We'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show, and we will see you guys.